What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. Before I even say a single word, I want to put a trigger warning in this video because what I'm going to be talking about is very, very serious. I'm not exactly sure what I can even title it because YouTube has all these rules and guidelines that I have to follow, but this is going to be a story of how I almost took my own life. And as difficult as it is for me to share, I think that if I share this with you guys, it might help you feel less alone. If talking about this kind of thing triggers you or upsets you, please click off of this video and I'll see you in the next one. I have never shared this with anyone else before, my therapist, but I've overwhelmingly kept this to myself intentionally because I didn't want to worry my family or upset anyone, which I know is something that many people out there go through. They just don't want to worry those around them, but I think it's an important thing to talk about. So that's what today's video is going to be. So if you have been following me for some time and you are not new to my channel, you know that I'm a recovering addict with 8 years of sobriety, and I served time in and out of prison, and I was just a mess of a person. I struggle with depression and anxiety, and I am a recovering addict, like I've mentioned. So I've had some really low lows, and because of my depression, sometimes it gets so bad I don't even want to get out of bed, which is something that I've had to work through while working through addiction as well. I've had to work on my mental health, my social health, my physical health, my mental health, my spiritual health, all of that together. And a big piece of that is mental health for me personally. So as somebody who has struggled with depression my entire life, the idea of taking my own life is not new. I've had suicidal thoughts on and off my whole life, but in the depths of my addiction, that was when I was at my lowest of my low. When I was in New York on H specifically, there were multiple times where I tried to do a really big shot and not wake up from that. Ironically, the times that I did overdose, it was an accident. I didn't mean to, but I didn't see a way out of my addiction, and I got really, really, really depressed and alone, and I felt as though there was no getting out. So there were several instances where I just didn't even want to wake up. The last time that I wanted to take my own life, I was in Arkansas and I was on methamphetamine. I had been awake for a couple of days, 2, maybe 3. So sleep deprivation, lack of nutrition, hydration, all of that contributes to the chemicals that I was putting in my body. And it was not a good evening. So I had been alone in this trailer for like 2 days. And it was a trailer park on Midland and Albert Pike in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And I remember it so clearly as if it happened yesterday. I had been alone for a couple of days. I'm not even sure where everyone was, but I had told a story when I first started YouTube about a possum getting in the trailer, which like really freaked me out. And I also told stories about meth psychosis where I had heard voices and I was convinced that there were people outside of the trailer. This happened at the same time. One night I had heard, they weren't real, people speaking in Spanish outside of this trailer. And for hours, I was trying to get the courage to go out there with my Glock and defend myself, get these people away from the trailer and defend whatever I had to do, right? I was convinced that they were gonna come in the trailer and try to get me. And that was a dramatic scene all on its own because I'm just stuck in this trailer. I feel as though I'm stuck, and it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I hear these voices and I keep hearing them and I hear them and I know they're out there, and I kept going back and forth with like, I know that this is not real, but like also, yes, it is. Like I hear it, I'm not crazy. I know that they're out there. There were a few different times while I was in Arkansas that I suffered from meth psychosis and I hallucinated things that were not there. That's a story for another time if I haven't told it already on my channel. If I have, someone please remind me in the comments. I hallucinated a whole car almost hitting me. Like there was a few moments like that, but for the most part, I had a good grip on reality, but there were a few times that I definitely didn't, like the voices. So that night I had heard the voices, I kept hearing them. I had a gun and I went outside and there was no one there, and I had to just tell myself like, you spent 2 hours, 3 hours, who even knows how long, honestly, because you spent all this time telling yourself there's someone out there and you need to, you know, take care of, protect the trailer. I don't even know what I was thinking. So the next night comes around, I'm alone again. And I really beat myself up for hallucinating the voices. And there was a moment where I had went to get high again in this really gross bathroom. There was like a hole in the floor of this trailer. That's probably how the possum got in it. But I was looking in the mirror of this bathroom, and I looked in my eyes, and there was like no color to my eye. It was all pupil, and I thought I had lost my soul, and I thought that I had already, like, I just could not overcome this addiction. It was in that moment that I decided, I'm done. I no longer want to be here. And I was going to take my life. So I walked out of the bathroom, and I sat down in this chair at the kitchen table that was in this trailer. I decided in that moment that I was going to write in my journal the days leading up to this event and how I was tired, and I'm sorry to my family. I'm sorry that I put you through this for so long, and my addiction has caused all these problems for me, and you're not gonna have to worry about me anymore because I'm taking myself out of this. I hated being alive anyway, and please don't, please don't mourn me. Please live your life happy and just know that I fought as hard as I could. And I wrote all of this out. It ended up being like 4 pages in this little journal that I had, and I would give anything to be able to have those journals. But when I was arrested, I lost all my stuff, and who knows what happened to them. They're probably, decomposing as we speak. But I wrote out all of that stuff. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I'm so sorry I put you all through this. And I had a Glock, and I take everything out of it, and I was cleaning it, and I think I honestly was just out of my mind. I wiped it all down, I cleaned it. It was illegal, by the way. I never could buy a legal firearm, but I loaded it, and I sat there staring at it, and I'll remember this day for the rest of my life. But I had my piece gun, I had the Glock on the table, and I had my journal, and I'm just staring at it for a minute, and I just decide, like, this is it. This is the moment where I'm done. I can't fight anymore. I was in so much pain that I didn't see a way out. So I picked up the gun, and I put it to my head, and I was shaking, and I was really scared. So I put the gun down, and I took a few deep breaths, and I tried to get the courage to do what I wanted to do because I was in so much pain, like I said. And I tried again, and I was shaking, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And I get up from the table, and I walked around, and I kept telling myself, like, it's fine. It's okay. It's normal to be afraid. Like, you need to go through with this, because I was on day 3 of no sleep. I was under the influence of meth. I was just in such a dark place. So as I'm walking around the living room at this trailer, I decide, just go outside, take a deep breath, get some air, sit down, and go back in, and then do it. So I go outside, and I sit on, it's not really a porch, it was like a few stairs leading up to this trailer. I think it was like 4 or 5 stairs. So I'm just sitting on these stairs, these wood stairs outside of this trailer. I'm sitting there for a few minutes, and I check my phone. I had like no notifications, no messages, no missed calls. No one was checking in on me. And I remember just feeling so alone, and it was just such a dark time in my life. As I'm sitting outside, baby daddy pulls up, and he's like, hey, you want to go to the casino? And I'm like, do I want to go to the casino? Absolutely not. And I'm like, I don't even have any money to go to the freaking casino with you. Now, just to back up here a little bit, baby daddy would come by the trailer every other day or every couple of days and see if I had eaten that day. And he was really just nice to me at that time. And sometimes he'd bring me Sonic or a cheeseburger from here or a cheeseburger from there. And just the little tiny piece of kindness went a long way. But now I'm sitting outside of this trailer. I just tried to take my own life inside, and he just happens to be here in the middle of the night asking me if I want to go to the casino. Like, why though? Like, is this a sign? Because I'm the kind of person that's like, I think there's a sign for everything. So I'm like, I don't have the money to go with you to the casino. and he says, I'll give you $100 to gamble. And I stopped for a second and I thought, he's here for a reason. Just go. Just go with him, because you can pick any other day to do this. Just go. So I got in the car and I was really quiet. I didn't say anything to him, and we're driving. It's only like a 25-minute drive from where we were, I think. And we're driving, we pull up to the casino and it's all lit up, and it just seemed so positive from where I just was. And I remember thinking, like, I was in a dark ass, dirty ass, condemned trailer about to check out of life, and now I'm at this beautifully lit up Cherokee casino. Like, it just looked so nice. And I got out of the car and I just thought to myself, like, what am I even doing here? I don't even know this guy, really. I mean, what am I even doing? So I go in and I hear all the machines and the dinging, and people are laughing, and I just thought to myself, like, how are you even happy? How are you laughing? How are you happy when I am so miserable that an hour earlier I almost took my own life? So I go in and he gets to this machine that he likes, and I'm just sitting there. Like, I don't really like to gamble or play slot machines because for me, it causes anxiety to lose money, because I don't win anything. I've never won anything in my life. But I put in the money, put in 100 that he gave me. I pressed the button a couple of times and just hit the checkout because I wanted to keep as much money as I could because I was broke. I'm sitting there and he made me laugh, and slowly but surely I started to feel a little bit better. And by the time I went back to the trailer, it was the next day. The sun had come up, people were all in the trailer, and I had realized that I'm alive for a reason. I don't even know what it is at that point. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why he happened to come at the trailer at that exact moment. I don't know why I decided to go to the casino with him. I could have just told him no. Like, any other situation I would have said no, because I don't like casinos, but there was a reason for that. Maybe I should keep fighting. And my message is to you, if you have gone through that, or if you're going through that right now, please keep fighting. I almost took my life, which was a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and I didn't see that back then. I didn't see a way out. I didn't see that I could have gotten better. I didn't understand that recovery is possible and that happiness outside of that world is possible. I have built a very beautiful life, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that the reason he was there was so that I did not take my life. The reason why he thought to go pick up me was he saved my life. As you guys know, like 7 months later, I find out I'm pregnant in jail. And once again, I thought that there was no, like, this is a horrible situation, but it turned out to be the biggest blessing of my whole life, because that little girl saved my life. I am the person that I am because I had Micah. Every day she makes me want to be a better person. Every day she makes me laugh and makes me smile, and she is the most amazing kid I have ever met in my life. And in having her, she gave me a purpose to live. She gave me something to fight for. Micah, without a doubt, saved my life. There have been so many moments where I have been so broken and so depressed, I can't even put it into words. If you are going through that, please know that you are not alone, and your life does matter. Your life is worth fighting for. Please reach out for help if you are struggling with that. I struggle with depression, and I have my whole life, and I will for the rest of my life. Please understand that you are not alone. There are so many people right there with you, struggling with you, fighting for their life right now. I will leave the suicide prevention hotline in the description box down below, as well as online counseling. As much as it hurts to say out loud how badly you're struggling, as afraid as you might be to tell a loved one that you're struggling, please reach out for help. I was so afraid to tell anyone that I struggled with those thoughts. I was afraid to say that in prison, because if you say it in prison, they put you naked in a room on suicide watch for 72 hours, and it's freaking horrible. Well, they put you in like a pickle suit or whatever, a Velcro outfit, and it's awful. I always felt as though I had to keep that to myself. I didn't want to worry anyone around me. I didn't want to get put in the freaking pickle suit. So there were so many moments in my life where I was so afraid to tell anyone what I was going through. But reaching out for help doesn't make you weak. Reaching out for help makes you strong. I'm gonna end today's video here. Please, please reach out for help if you need it. And just know that your life matters and you're here for a reason. Even though you might not be able to see that reason right now, you're here for a reason. You were put on this earth for a reason. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay sober, whatever that looks like to you. Reach out for help if you need it. You are loved, you matter, and your life is worth fighting for. And I will see you in my next one.